Sentences with in spite of. They helped them in spite of the difficulties. In spite of all his faults, everybody likes him. In spite of the hurricane, the ship reached port. I love her in spite of her faults. In spite of being a millionaire, she lives in a very small flat. In spite of her young age, she did a very good job. My sister still loves his in spite of the fact that he left him. In spite of all the difficulties, they helped us. Samuel still loves him in spite of he was abandoned by his lover. In spite of the difficulties, we beat the opposing team. Next winter, in spite of he did not want to give up. In spite of the pain in his foot, he completed the race incredibly. In spite of he was full, he decided to eating again. The school will certainly sell in spite of the fact that it's overpriced. In spite of completing his master's degree, he could not find a quality job. In spite of his brilliant intelligence, the lecture notes are very bad. They went out in spite of the rain. The house will certainly sell in spite of the fact that it's overpriced. In spite of the fact that Mark helps to the poor, he isn't rich. In spite of the fog, planes are still landing. I like my job in spite of the low salary. I am doing it in spite of you. In spite of all his setbacks, he remains an optimist. In spite of many obstacles, he refused to give up. In spite of being insulted, he managed to keep his temper. He is a cheerful in spite of his illness. In spite of all opposition, 2 more nuclear power stations were built. In spite of they had been training for hours, they lost the football game. In spite of his fear of heights, he climbed to the top of the mountain. In spite of the rain, they went ahead with the outdoor wedding ceremony.